kick off the fall with a bang and a bunk. When one of America's favorite family television series lands on PAX. America's funniest home videos. Catch all the action this fall on PAX.
I really don't know what to do. I mean, hot flashes, night sweats. I just feel awful.
Take one caplet of all-natural New Phase every day. New Phase has more of the plant estrogens clinically shown to reduce hot flashes and night sweats. New Phase. Get more out of life.
You live life to the limits. So why limit yourself to menstrual relief that works against just one symptom? With maximum strength multi-symptom Pamprin, you get fast relief from cramps, bloating, tension, backaches, and headaches. Trust Pamprin, and period pain won't limit you.
And it is time now for your tropical update. Let's go ahead and check on the latest with Mindy. And the pressure may be coming up just a little bit here. As of the latest advisory, 1,006 millibars, but the latest vortex message indicating it may have come up just slightly. So this is not something that we think is going to intensify by any means, but will gradually weaken and eventually become extratropical. It is undergoing some shear at this time, and I'll show you what it looks like from a satellite perspective in just a moment. Winds of 40 miles per hour as of the 11 o'clock advisory. Its movement to the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. And as of the 11 o'clock advisory, the central pressure at 1,006 millibars. And this is what it looks like. Again, in the advisory that was last put out, indications that the western portion of that center of circulation somewhat exposed. This has been undergoing quite a bit of southwesterly shear, and you can see how some of the clouds in and around the system are being pushed off to the north and east, an indication there's a strong flow coming out of the southwest. And that can really do a number on a storm. So this tropical storm will continue to move away from the islands here. There might still be some occasional showers and thunderstorms, but all in all, this is going to be moving away and have less and less of an impact across the region. Now, where does it go from here? Well, that's a good question. And we don't think it's going to impact at all the eastern U.S., so that is certainly some good news. There is enough evidence of steering currents here with our next trough dropping on through that's going to help to steer that off into the Atlantic, so the projected path will stay well clear of the U.S. coast, but may come close to Bermuda, so that's an area that we'll still have to watch. So mainly interested here with shipping interests and for Bermuda. And again, they should continue to weaken, but still could buffet the tiny island with some rain and some gusty winds. So we'll have to keep an eye on this for the next few days. There's a look at your projected path, and now it will expand the picture. I wanted to show you what else is happening across the Atlantic Basin. And it's getting a little late in the season to see something developing this far east. And look how hostile the environment is, as we've got a fairly large trough out there. So not looking at a whole lot happening elsewhere into the Atlantic Basin. The main gig there is Mindy, and it will most likely weaken slowly with time. Very quiet in the eastern Pacific. Can you believe this? It's been a while since we could say that, but there is just really nothing happening across this area. So we'll take you stateside, and we'll show you what's going on here with the frontal boundary that has just now passed through Chicago. Chicago reporting frontal passage around the top of the hour. And the winds gusty associated with that, finding the strong wind gust with that frontal passage up to around 34 miles per hour, light rain falling. And rain continues to fall across North Florida up through Jacksonville. We continue to find some rain also into western Texas. And this, of course, causing some major flooding problems. So you want to be sure to watch out for the potential for some ponding on the roadways here. San Antonio, south and westward, getting hit very hard with some very, very heavy rainfall rates. Here's a look at the flash flood watches that are in effect, and some areas receiving up to 3 inches of rain, and it continues to come down even since this was put together. So please keep that in mind. Rainfall amounts have been impressive too into Florida, with Apalachicola over 3 1/3 inches, over 1.5 inches around Tallahassee. So some significant rainfall here, and the rain continues, maybe heavy up into the central portion of Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and also now some light rain into Chicagoland, and that is going to be moving on through, even in through Milwaukee. Some fog developing now in parts of the Northeast. Elmira back down to a 1/4 mile visibility, as well as Concord, New Hampshire. We'll be back.
There's more from the Weather Channel at weather.com. More travel updates. More golf features.
Tropical storm Mindy, that is the big story for the tropics. As we take a look at the big, broad satellite perspective, we've got a couple areas, actually. We've been tracking a tropical wave that rolled off the African coast a couple days ago. It's not looking that terribly impressive, though, and actually, climatologically speaking, this is not a very favored area for tropical development. It's actually been undergoing some southwesterly wind shear, so it's in a rather hostile environment, but we'll still watch it nonetheless. Of course, the big story continues to be Tropical Storm Mindy that's working its way well to the north of Hispaniola. It's a fairly weak system, though. It's packing winds of 40 miles per hour and right now lifting off to the north-northeast at about 9 miles per hour. From our satellite perspective, again, this is not looking very impressive. In fact, the center of circulation is totally exposed right now. And what slight convection that we do have continues to be well to the east and north of the center of circulation. So it's looking pretty ragged right now, very ill-defined, kind of a weak system, and we do expect that this system may be holding its own, at least for the time being, but it could gradually start to weaken even more so. Up towards the north, though, we do have the island of Bermuda, and we'll have to watch that because perhaps the remnants of this tropical system may brush by here in the next day or so, and that could eventually bring some squally weather with increased chances for scattered showers, and perhaps too some blustery weather eventually for Bermuda. But right now, the island's looking pretty good. As we check out the rest of the islands, though, across the Bahamas, looking very, very nice as well. No problems for your vacation plans if you're heading out towards perhaps the Turks or Caicos Islands, or perhaps your travels take you over towards the Grand Bahama Island. I think the weather should cooperate as all the unsettled conditions are staying well to your east. What can we expect now from Tropical Storm Mindy? Well, again, it's still a tropical storm, and we do expect this system to be really pulling out to sea. So really no threat whatsoever across the lower 48. We've had this big, impressive trough of low pressure coming off the eastern seaboard, and that will help to deflect Mindy. So for the most part, Mindy will start to stay well to the east, so again, not impacting the lower 48 whatsoever. But again, over the next couple of days, perhaps some slight effects for the island of Bermuda. As we check out the weather elsewhere, the Gulf of Mexico, no tropical development here, and likewise across the eastern Pacific, a few clusters of showers and storms, but absolutely nothing to be concerned with.
Well, that's fairly quiet there in the Eastern Pacific. Coming up in Weekend Now, we'll give you a preview of what is coming up tonight on Storm Stories.
And in the next hour, we'll show you where the best fall colors can be found. Plus, a look at the next 7-day forecast in your weekly planner. Stay with us, all that and more coming up in just a few moments.
There's more from the Weather Channel at weather.com. More travel updates, more golf features, more forecasts at work or whenever you're on the web. Get more at weather.com or AOL keyword weather.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Action! Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Water! Remember, out of control. Cut! Cut! Okay, fire the stunt driver.
The new Michelin Hydro Edge with patented hydro chutes. It's our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Michelin tires are available at a dealer near you or visit Michelin.com.
Do not sweeten. Do not concentrate. Do not disturb. Nature at work. Discover Simply Orange. Simply unfooled around with.
Right. I'll see you in Dallas.
Going away on business?
Yeah.
Then stay someplace that has everything you need to succeed in any business. I mean, music, movies,
Whatever business you're in, Courtyard has what you need to be successful.
Are you okay? I'm good. Jolly good.
At Courtyard, earn double Marriott Rewards points when you pay with Visa through January 31st.
She told me that she was in a program and she was eating oatmeal to lower her cholesterol.
A bowl of Quaker oatmeal for 30 days.
And yours lowered by 17 points.
There it is, 17. You better try it. You better try it. Quaker oatmeal helped reduce my cholesterol.
Didn't you get bored of eating oatmeal every day?
You know, that's what I thought. I thought I would, but I really didn't.
I would trust Lillian because she's my friend.
You got to
Lillian,
eat it.
I'll eat the oatmeal.
Hello and welcome back to PM Edition. It's 10 minutes before the hour, so that means it's time for your tropical update. Let's head right to the maps and see what's going on at this hour in the United States. Well, we are seeing some stormy conditions, and Hillary will update you on that in just a little bit. First, we're going to head to the Atlantic Basin and see what's going on. Well, we have what's left of Mindy swirling around in the Atlantic, now a depression. That's this mass of clouds right here on the satellite picture, and we also have a little tropical wave. That's this convection in the Atlantic, and we'll zoom into that picture in just a moment. First, let's talk about Mindy. It is not looking so good. It's been downgraded to a tropical depression, once tropical storm. The winds, 35 miles per hour. It's just getting sheared apart by upper level winds. You can see that on the satellite picture. There's trying to be a little circulation here, but you can see all the convections off to the east side of the storm, and that's not conducive for development. You need those thunderstorms right over that center of low pressure, and it's just not looking so good. And the reason is like I said, it's getting sheared by the upper level winds. Now there's also a trough behind it, and that will continue to pick this up and eventually move it off to the northeast, so it doesn't look like it will be threatening the United States, which is good news. Now let's zoom into our wave in the Atlantic. All this convection, this is what we are watching, and we usually don't see systems develop this far out into the Atlantic. Usually we keep our eye focused around the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico. But hey, it can happen. We are seeing a lot of convection associated with this wave. And just to give you a point of reference, the landmass here, that is South America. For this thing to hold on and to develop, it needs to basically head westward, because if it heads into the northwest, well, it could get sheared apart. So its best bet to hold on would be to head westward. And we will continue to keep a close eye on this system, of course. It is still far away from affecting anyone, but it is looking pretty good. We are seeing some convection associated with that system. What else is going on? Well, we are quiet here in the Gulf of Mexico, also in the Caribbean. We are seeing very clear skies. Maybe you're headed out tomorrow to the Bahamas. It will be nice. We're seeing great weather here. You can see all through the islands. Really not even a cloud in the sky, so fantastic weather. What else is going on? Well, we've been seeing very heavy rainfall into southern Texas and New Mexico. That's starting to taper off, so that's good news. Hillary will focus in on that area coming up in just a moment. Here into the eastern Pacific, it is quiet, nothing going on here. So overall in the tropics, it's quiet, but we are seeing some stormy conditions into the lower 48. With that, here's Hillary.
Well, you know, we do have a couple of fronts moving through. You can think of these as very dry fronts, and as they move through, the big difference is going to be the temperature. It's going to knock temperatures down 5 degrees, 10 degrees from what we're used to seeing. I wanted to show you Monday evening's forecast because finally we're going to be drying southern Texas out. I know folks there will be very, very happy. Still have a threat of severe weather, mainly in the very, very tip, so maybe Brownsville. We'll see some severe weather, also a chance for seeing some severe weather in southern New Mexico. That's going to dry out after midnight. Also, southern Florida, just a chance for seeing some thunderstorms. South Texas, over 3.5 inches of rain. That's how much has been falling over the past 30 hours. We still have some flood watches out there, so if you do see standing water in the roadways, you'll definitely want to not drive through it. We're also seeing some flooding still in underpasses. That's going to be our travel trouble spot today. So today and tomorrow we're looking for possible flooding along 10, also southern sections of 10 and also 35. That's where we're going to see some trouble there. Now up in Boston, it's a rainy day up there, kind of cool and cloudy. We're just seeing some spotty showers moving through, some clear skies right behind it. As soon as we move those rain showers off the coastline, which is going to be for tomorrow, we will have a much better Columbus Day. Wind plaguing the northwest right now. That's where we have a heavy surf advisory from Cape Flattery all the way down just off of the Santa Barbara coastline through Santa Cruz Island. So great surfing. If you're really good at Mavericks today, it should be incredible. Overnight lows getting down to the 20s and the 30s, so we do have a winter weather warning, and that's for the Olympics and the Cascades to about 4,500 feet. We could be seeing some snow showers out there. Now, as we work our way through the week, you can see a series of disturbances in the water vapor imagery just making its way across. So as that happens, we are going to see slowly temperatures falling. Your Monday forecast looks rather dry, so good news for any kids who might get the day off for Columbus Day.
That's right. Well, there's much more to come on the second hour of PM Edition. We'll take a look at your work week ahead. Stay with us.
And now, suspense,
Experience the triumph of the human spirit. Every night on Storm Stories, only on the Weather Channel.
I serve because
my family taught me that if you're blessed, you have to give back. City Year.
I want it to be better for the kids coming up than it was for me.
I serve because I love my country.
I serve because of these guys right here.
They need me.
I serve because it feels good.
I want to make a difference.
1 year.
City Year.
Now I can.
City Year.
City Year.
City Year.
City Year.
Is this your year?
Unsafe living conditions, out-of-date medications, inadequate nutrition, unreasonable restraint. Freeholder Brian Hughes uncovered neglect at the County Geriatric Center, fought to improve patient care, and worked for new senior centers throughout the county. As county executive, he'll increase oversight and hold management accountable. Democrat Brian Hughes for county executive. He'll never stop fighting for us.
And it is time now to take a look at the tropics. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Resalton. Let's look at the latest now with Mindy, which is now a tropical depression, packing winds of 35 miles per hour. Movement now to the east at 7 miles per hour. And 600 miles to the southwest of Bermuda, the central pressure at 1,008 millibars. And this has been undergoing quite a bit of shear out of the southwest. And because of that, it has weakened considerably. And we do not expect much of a change as we go through the next 24 hours or so. If anything, it will weaken still further. So looks like this will actually pass probably to the south of Bermuda, but we don't want you to completely let your guard down. You may experience some effects from this, but chances are this has already begun its eastward movement. So it will most likely continue on that track and pass to the south of Bermuda. Nevertheless, it has weakened considerably and is mainly, at this point, just a threat to shipping interests. Now, we can expand the picture and find that we do have another tropical low and tropical wave out here in the eastern Atlantic. A little late in the season to see something this far east, but every once in a while, and it's like once in a blue moon, we see something like that happen. There is a shearing environment to the northwest of this, but it's possible it could slip underneath that or to the south of that, and maybe have a chance to develop further or get more organized. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Otherwise, the rest of the Atlantic Basin is very, very quiet. The Eastern Pacific is very, very quiet as well. Not much to speak of here. So we'll take you back into the lower 48 and talk a little bit about some of the showers exiting in the northeast, moving out of the Boston area after you've received about 2 inches of rain, and it forced the cancellation of Game 4 in Boston. That will be played for Monday night, and the weather's looking good for that. But the rain continues here into eastern Maine, and you might find some pockets of some moderate rain occasionally. Still some showers down around the Brownsville area of Texas. Watching an increased amount of showers here into Wyoming, and some showers also extending in through the northwest and in through the northern portions of the upper Midwest. That's in advance of a frontal boundary there. But again, the showers pushing out of Boston, still coming down strong along I-95 as we go across the eastern extent of the state of Maine. And down in through Texas, San Antonio looking pretty good, but a little bit further southward, some of that rain continuing, so the flash flood watches are still in effect as well. So we'll have to watch out for that. Monday's forecast does call for some more showers into central and south Texas. I should say mostly into south Texas. More sunshine, dry conditions in through the southwest. Few afternoon showers developing ahead of a frontal boundary here, so Kansas City could get wet later in the day. And we'll see that moisture expanding as we go on into Tuesday ahead of that frontal system. Sunshine returning across the mid-Atlantic. And we'll say maybe a few remnant showers into eastern Maine for the early part of your Monday. Scattered thunderstorms into Florida. Temperature is a very big part of the weather story, as we'll find some 70s across the southern Great Lakes, 80s into the southeast and along the Gulf Coast, and some 90s continuing in through the southwest. And here's a look at that rain that blossoms across the east for Tuesday, while the west will be very, very quiet. Tuesday across the east, it's going to be very, very wet. Scattered thunderstorms, D.C., Baltimore. Could see some of that action across the lower Mississippi Valley as well. And temperatures responding, cooling off accordingly behind that frontal boundary, with some highs to the north only in the 50s on Tuesday.
There's more from the Weather Channel at weather.com. More.
Storm over the weekend. Downgraded yesterday. The pressure is at 1,008 millibars.
It is moving east away from the Bahamas. Again, good news here. As you can see, there is some convection with it, but it's very poorly organized. There was a low-level circulation right in here, as you can see, to the west of the convection. A lot of southwest shear here keeping those storms from developing around the low-level center. So good news here. It is expected to move off towards the east, not impacting Bermuda either. Seas only 4 to 8 feet around the area, too. So that's about it, the closest thing to home. But we do have a low, tropical low to the southwest of Cape Verde that we're going to have to watch this as it continues off towards the west. A little bit of shear out there now, and it is staying pretty far to the south. And there is a chance it could develop into a tropical depression, but it is pretty far from any land areas. We have several days to watch this one. Eastern Pacific, it is very quiet as we typically see this time of the year. And that is it for the tropical update, folks. Quick look at our forecast for today for the lower 48. Beautiful in the northeast. Scattered showers and storms, though, from Houston all the way to Brownsville, where there could be some more flooding today, and we'll give you details coming up soon. Nick?
Ample rainfall and drought affected this year's crops in big ways. The Bloomberg Money Barometer reports on record-setting production, both small and large.
Good morning. The Department of Agriculture issued its outlook for many of our nation's crops. Orange production in Florida, the largest growing state, will come in at a record 252 million boxes. The government said ample rains all year left trees in excellent condition. A crop of that size would exceed the previous record of 244 million in the 1997-98 growing season. Meanwhile, the government said this year's cotton crop will be 3.7% larger than expected a month ago. The crop is expected to reach 17.56 million bales because of ideal weather conditions in the southeast. And finally, the government said a drought in the Midwest caused more harm than expected to the soybean crop a month ago, with less damage than predicted to corn. While the soybean crop of 2.47 billion bushels will be the smallest since 1996, the corn crop forecast was raised to a record 10.21 billion bushels. For the Weather Channel, I'm Linda Bell with the Bloomberg Money Barometer.
All right, stay with us because we'll be talking to Heather Tesh on your weather today about what's coming up soon.
Also check in with Dennis Smith on that morning commute. See how things are shaping up. New York looks nice, doesn't it? Stay with us here at First Outlook.
This program was brought to you by the Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
Why do we work? Why do we get up every day and go to work? Because we make things, fix things, send our kids off to learn things. At the Principal Financial Group, we know you don't just work to retire, you work to live. That's why we give people the financial tools to help them keep more of the money they make and do more with the money they save. You work hard, we make work hard for you. The Principal Financial Group, we understand what you're working for.
Need proof that Scoop Away's new odor fighters control odor better than Tidy Cats?
Scoop Away, control stinky odors better.
Why are so many people coming to Lowe's for flooring?
We want wall-to-wall carpeting in the living room.
Lowe's introduces Mohawk Premier Living Carpets.
I love soft carpet.
But it's gotta last.
It's one of the softest, most durable carpets available.
And only Lowe's has it. We'll even measure, install, and haul your old carpet away. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 6 months on flooring purchases of $2.99 or more.
Maybe it's not work that's stressing you out. Maybe it's hormones. They fluctuate long before menopause. Don't wait till menopause to get estrogen.
With soy and black cohosh to help balance hormones.
Naturally, safely.
Don't wait till menopause to get estrogen. Now look for extra strength estrogen.
Drop that yogurt.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Gordon Elliott.
I recognize you.
Let me show you something different. Campbell's Select Soup, and we're going to try the roasted chicken with